everyone that is joining. I popped into the event to mention that we were going to do things a little different tonight. I want to bring in a special spread. So as opposed to our week ahead spread, I have a 6-card spread that I put in the feed of our event, and I will be telling you each position as we go, so you don't need to see this, but just so you know, it is related to this guy, the Chariot, and it was inspired by a host of Chariot-related events that have been unfolding for myself and in many of your lives, I happen to know, and people around me. And so it kind of brought me around again to the awareness that we are, in fact, in the year of the Chariot, 2023. Hey, Mel, welcome. I'm so excited. The comments are working. We're good. Just a little reminder that everything that's unfolding right now, this being 2023, adds up numerologically to a number 7. And so that correlates with card 7 of the major arcana in the tarot. And so that's bringing in the Chariot energy, which is literally about, and I'll bring him up so you can see, this is the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith tarot. And so he's literally in a chariot. So it's all about our vehicles. It's all about movement and a number of other aspects that are all outlined in the little video that I posted in the event that you can catch whenever if you didn't see it, if you're interested. Oh, good, Colleen, you're here. You're also part of my inspiration tonight. I was talking about those of us that have been moving through car trouble, automobile issues, but also our vehicles, this vehicle that carries our soul, right? And body problems like, aches, pains, injuries, breakdowns, like all the things that people are moving through. And that this is the year of the Chariot. And then while that's happening, there's a host of other energies at play that are all about bringing in the energies of death and rebirth and tearing down everything old and really connecting in with all the things we've been talking about. Aries season. I know I posted this week about the big event that's happening now, which is Pluto in Aquarius, which is going to be going on for the next 20 years. But it really is this transformative energy and many other things to speak to, which I wanted to say, as I mentioned, right? All of our chariots are dying. Our chariots are ailing. And well, I'll tell you guys about that. So for me, over the last 3 weeks, we had 2 cars. We've always had 2 cars. And my oldest is 17 and she just got her license. Okay, so I'm already moving through just the mom stuff of that I can't even come to grips with my 17-year-old driving. So we've had a car for 13 years. We haven't had a car payment for a number of years. We've been enjoying that, but we really, we want her to be able to use that car. And I have another one coming up behind her. So that's like the teens mobile. So we had to look at buying a new car. So number 1, 2023, we bought a new car. And then of course, she's just about to go for her license and the check engine light comes on in that one. The other one's due for an oil change and they're about to drive to Boston. So we need to make sure that's all in order. And then the third, that one just was a new car, just needed an oil change. And then the other one had like a slow leak in the tire and other things that had to be checked. It turned out, in the car that was for her needed all new struts, which was not cheap, and some other minor things. And then the other car that we hope to sell at some point, all the things, right? All the technical things. I know people are, poor Jen and Rob last night, thank goodness you had a friend that could help you, and the transmission literally fell out of your Chariot. And Colleen, with what you shared about all the repairs you've been moving through. And yeah, these are things that could happen anytime. It doesn't have to be because it's the year of the Chariot. And yet there's something to be said about the fact that just that we're tuning in to this awareness, it's helping us to greet these things that happen with a perspective that tells us that like, oh, wow, like, okay, this is, yeah, it really is the year of the Chariot. Come to think of it, like all these different automobile related things and road trips and journeys and getting stuck and having to recalibrate and redirect ourselves. And then we bring it into our physical body as a vehicle and think about, things that people move through in terms of injury, illness, ailments, different things. Or maybe in the positive, like I said, we have a new driver in our house. That's really exciting. The whole world is opening up for her that she can just go run an errand now or drive herself to work. And that's all happening for her this year. Or maybe you're making some really positive changes for your physical body when it comes to your health and your wellness and movement, all of those types of things. Thank you. Yes, I'll mention if you want a personal card pull tonight, absolutely start commenting. And one thing I wanted to add is if you ever have a specific question or area that you want the card pull focused on, feel free to mention that and we'll just, fold that in when we pull your card. I won't talk too much because we have 6 cards to pull here for this spread, but I just kind of wanted to give you that background, and there's a lot more to it with the astrology, and that's why I wanted to say Mila is my new tarot to her astrology cousin. So if Empowered Tarot had a cousin, Mila is really brilliant at a very interesting perspective on astrology that is called evolutionary astrology, which looks at your chart and looks at the transits in a way that's very empowering. That's really about understanding, where you're coming from to where you are, where you're going. But like my Empowered Tarot, it's not in a predictive way. It's in a prescriptive way of taking a look at the stars and really helping you to understand how that is something that you can empower yourself with. So she's joined us. She is online as Moonlight Soul. I'll pop all her info in here, but the reason I wanted to share it is because she just posted a video that is about Mars in Cancer, which is another aspect that's at play, along with the Pluto in Aquarius that I talked about, along with we're in the year of the Chariot, that all has to do with these things that are happening in our lives, in our homes, in our relationships, in all the things. So I thank you again, Mila, for being here. And like I said, I'm not going to try to explain all the astrology stuff. I will just point you to her video because it's a great synopsis of what's going on up there. Now we bring it down here and we look at this energy with the Chariot. So who's traveling? Sandy, you're traveling. Perfect. We will pull a card around that for you. Mel, evolutionary astrology girl, I will tell you, Mila did a brilliant reading for me. So interesting. So interesting. So we're going to talk about this spread. So this is a spread that I found today. Thank you, Pinterest. That is about around the Chariot and looking at a spread for forging a path. So thinking about what's going on around you right now, where you're heading. Some people are looking to move. Some people are already on the move. Some people are figuring out car repairs. Some people, all the things I just mentioned. So we're bringing all that in collectively here tonight as we look at this 6-card spread. So in the spread that I posted, the cards go in a very specific formation. I'm obviously not going to do that. I'm just going to put them in our row and we're going to talk about them. And then no worries, throughout the week, I plan to still pull cards to give us a little flavor for our week ahead. So I will pop in and do that as well. So we're going to stick with our Tarot of Oneness. It's actually our last week with this deck. And I'm kind of thinking for next month, I might use the traditional tarot because I like to do something on April 1st. I did it last year and I think I'm going to dust it off, is April Fool's. Is talking about the Fool's journey, because that's really what the tarot is about, the journey of the Fool, card 0. So maybe back to basics and use this deck. We'll see. But for tonight, we're going to use this gorgeous deck, Tarot of Oneness, and we're going to look at these 6 positions. So let me also spray. I decided to bring in Archangel Michael tonight for communication and safety. Okay. And this is beautiful. This all just happened, the blue, and I realized I even picked up a blue cup. So I'm bringing in all the blue here. The idea that I like to call in the energy of Archangel Michael, Sword of Truth, when I'm in traffic, when I need to get somewhere, to come in and cut through and clear the way, to clear things away. And I always say swiftly and safely. So I wanted to bring that energy in for us in the name of Chariot and movement and stuckness and all the things. So that's the energy I'm bringing in, which is also bringing in truth. It's bringing in clarity, etc. So we'll see what comes forward. As I shuffle, I just kind of want to set the intention because this is a little different with this spread. The first position is called the Charioteer. So we are the Charioteer. We are behind the wheel, wherever we find ourselves. And we're feeling into where we are currently. What is the current state of our journey? And yes, as you come in, please continue to share if you want a card pull. See what wants to come up for our Charioteer. Where are we currently? Ooh, that one jumped right back in before I could see it. And the current state of our journey. Okay. Second position is the dark horse. So you see on here, we have a light and dark, sphinx or horse, this energy of duality, the energy of light and shadow, the energy of the two, whatever, whether it's yin, yang, masculine, feminine, light and shadow. So this is the dark horse. So we're saying, what pulls us in one direction? What leads us away from our desired goal? So we're doing this spread when we want to understand our goals, but we're unsure of how to get there. Or maybe when we need help charting a path from where we maybe forgot this before. I'm seeing comments. Are you guys seeing me? I got like a black screen that said something about a bad connection. But I see Billy Joe came in. Welcome. Adrienne, welcome. Hey, hey. Please tell me you guys see me. Chastity's back. I'm back. I don't know, Jen. I got like a black screen and it said, due to a poor wireless connection. I'm good now. Okay. You didn't miss anything important, although I was talking to myself and I wasn't looking at the screen. Okay. Thank you. So funny you say that, but you're back. I've had songs in my head all day, and I had Slim Shady in my head. Guess who's back? Back again. That was my song to go with the Chariot, because it was like the Chariot came back on the scene, reminding us what year it is and what we have going on. Thank you guys. Thank you for seeing me. So I was talking about the dark horse, position 2. I don't know if it was you, Katie, that broke the internet, or me, or what's going on tonight on the interwebs. So we're pulling the second card for the dark horse. This is representing something that pulls us in one direction. What leads us away from our desired goals? What is distracting? What should we avoid because it doesn't bring us closer to where we want to be? Okay, that's a good one. So when we're thinking about, we're still planting those gardens, our seeds, we're focusing on what we want. Dark horse, black screen. Chastity, I love it. Thank you. No mistakes here. I love it. All right, let's get our card. Okay, ooh, that's dark. We'll see what that is coming up. Of course, the third position is going to be the light horse. Pulls you in the other direction. What leads you towards your desired goal? What should you be focusing on? What will bring you success? The light horse. I'm also getting a little Katy Perry with the dark horse again. Rob, remember that time I'm like, isn't there a song about a dark horse by Katy Perry? And you're like, yes, it's called Dark Horse. All right. Going with that one. All right. I know what that one is. And the next step is card 4. What should your short-term focus be? Good. What is the next thing you should work on? Short-term, short trip. What do we need to know there? Okay. Ooh, I like that one. Then we have the obstacle. What lies in your way? What needs to be overcome? What challenges do you face on this journey? Challenges. Okay. And we have finally the destination. Where is all of this leading? What will your destination look like? So, destination, energy, where to? Okay. Alrighty. So, jumping into card number 1, we have the embodiment of cups. So this is the King of Cups energy. We had this last week, actually. And this is the Charioteer. Where are you currently? What is the current state of your journey? Hey, Aletha, welcome. Rob's singing. I put a song in your head. Sorry, Jen. Hey, Savannah, welcome. Let us know if you guys want a card pull. We're doing a special spread tonight, so I'll be telling you what the positions are as we go. This is position number 1. You didn't miss anything. Oh, perfect. I'm so glad this resonates for you, Chastity. And I'm not surprised because I feel like we're all there. It shows up for in our lives in so many different ways, but I think there's something that we can all resonate with for sure. So I do hope that these messages resonate with everyone on some level for sure. So as the Charioteer, where are we? We've got embodiment of cups, and the cups is the water element. The water element is emotion, flow. And, you know, typically the embodiment of cups means that that's an energy of having that sort of mastered, of being really balanced with the emotion and that energy, but also being in a position of like leadership and balance and being able to manage all the things. But not necessarily, right? Because there's light and there's dark, and there's a shadow aspect to having it all together. As I look at this card, and like I said, I know this just came up last week. There's some beautiful aquatic symbolism on here. There is the ship, the sails. There's the fish here energy. There's seashell energy. And this right away tells me about being in this position of like having to adjust our sails, maybe being a little wind blown or sea tossed around with all the things that are happening or feelings that we're moving through. And yet we have this opportunity to bring things into balance. Kendra, you just want to pop in and say hi? Absolutely. Yep. Perfect. We will pull your car at the end. Thank you for catching. I just said pull your car. It's Chariot, people. We will pull your card at the end and you catch the replay. Love to you. So we're having this opportunity to sort of really bring that balance into emotion and flow and feels, because we're feeling all of this powerful energy, and we might not even realize that we're feeling that energy for on the collective level. So what is mine and what is in the collective that I am sensitive to? Because obviously with the water element, there's a lot of intuition and flow and being very intuitive and sensitive and aware of your surroundings, not just your surroundings, but as the king or queen, or being in this position of embodying that, you have a lot of other people or responsibilities or things that all have to be factored in as well. So here we are, right, with all the things. Let's see how this is playing out with the dark horse energy. So the second card that came up, oh gosh, perfect. It's the 9 of Swords. This is the card of nightmare energy. It is the card of the hamster wheel of thoughts, of the stuff that keeps us up at night. And here we see it as that energy at the foot of the bed, kind of a little bit creepily there, but it's just this energy of the dark horse. What is pulling us in that direction? What leads us away from our desired goals? What is distracting? My head, that's what's distracting. My thoughts, my overthinking, my getting caught up in over-analyzing, of maybe not wanting to take a step because I don't want to mess up. I don't want it to fail, or I don't know what to do. Whatever it is in the head, right? Billy Joe, you're feeling this. Yep, positive and negative. Josefina came out. All right. We got to check in with Josefina. I know. But yeah, sounds about right. The hamster wheel, all the thoughts, all the things churning around. And like I said, that's nightmare energy, or the things that, you know, that we just keep spinning our wheels, right? We'll just keep bringing it back to the chariot. We're spinning our wheels. And sometimes, you know, there's an opportunity for us to just take one definitive action. DJ Rob, great. Now the hamster dance is in my head. That's great. So the dark horse is bringing in that aspect of the mind that's out of balance, right? Because the mind has a place. We need our intellect. We need our ability to analyze things, to make decisions, but in check, right? Bringing it into balance, we have the water element, the flow, and then we have the swords, which is the air element, right? And we have the Archangel Michael energy coming in to cut through and bring in some clarity. And I mentioned today in the revamp of the video that I shared in the event that I want to update what I was saying, because I feel like too, this being a 7-year, that a lot of people are having head stuff, whether it is just like brain fog or being unclear. A lot of people with these are just people in my orbit, migraines, sinus infections, head injuries, moving through things, with head and neck, all kinds of things that are in the head. And that's bringing me into that 7 energy, because it's such a spiritual and mystical number. It's so up here. There's a lot happening in our upper chakras because we're opening, because there's all these things going on that are bringing all these things into our awareness while we're down here driving around, doing the day to day and trying to integrate all of that. Big cycles. Exactly, Katie. There's so many big cycles going on, and then we're down here with our little cycles. Last week we talked about the wheel of fortune and the different cycles. And so second sinus issue. Yeah. So, and the allergies are kicking up. And like I said, this stuff happens, right? It doesn't have to be a 7-year, doesn't have to be anything about a chariot, but you know what? It's bringing it into our awareness so that I can put some context around this stuff. That if I'm caught up in my head, if I'm finding myself being really lost in my thoughts, I don't know where to begin, or if I'm kind of going into a downward spiral, and then the next minute I feel good or motivated, and it's like, split personality. Here we are with the dark horse and the light horse. Let me just observe that happening. Let me just be aware that that's happening. And now I have a little context around what is really behind that, right? So yeah, the head stuff. Yeah, I've had stuff. My one daughter was homesick last week with a splitting headache. I'm not sure if it was a migraine. Her eye was twitching, that type of stuff that, again, it's hard to do anything when your head is literally spinning, right? So, but also aligning our thoughts and our perspectives too, if we're feeling things as far as low mood, depression, struggling with things from like a mental health perspective as well. Shawnee, your husband had sinus stuff. Oh, snoring. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, that's tough too. I feel like there's a lot clearing. There's a lot that's coming up to be cleared. And so that is all a part of it too, that we're moving through. Let's see what we have coming in here for the light horse. I just want to keep it kind of moving so that we can, make sure we get to all of our objective reality. Oh, okay. I thought we were still making snoring jokes for a second there, because I was like, pillow over the face. Fish his nose. I've done that before to make him have to. Nothing like somebody else keeping you up. Objective reality is hard. For real, for real. Yes. All the things. Yeah. So the light horse energy coming in with card 3, what's pulling us down in the other direction into the light aspect? And we're talking about what leads us towards our desired goals. What should we be focusing on? So cutting all the 9 swords. We don't need all 9 of those swords. If each sword is representing thoughts, beliefs, ideas, something in the head, we don't need all 9. We're bringing in the clarity of 1 at a time, right? So in the light horse, we're talking about what we can focus on and what will bring us success. I love it. It's the 2 of Cups, the pinky swear. This is the card of partnerships. This is the card of agreements. This is the card of connecting. And yeah, it can be romantic connections and in relationship, in our friendships, but I'm really feeling this in our businesses, in our ventures, in our connection with like-minded people, coming into contact with the right people to help us on our journey, right? Who stops for directions anymore, right? We don't stop for directions. We don't need it because our phone tells us. We can just get in our car and just keep going. We don't have to actually interact with any other humans, right? I don't want to miss these good comments. I'm just checking in here. Oh, you put the pillow between. I love it. I love it. Oh, gosh. Your husband's the biggest baby. Oh, girl, nothing like a man cold. I know it. Sorry, Rob. So this is talking about the right people, networking, coming into contact with people. You know, as we are able to say, hey, I have a particular skill set, you have a particular skill set, or I have a particular resource, you have a particular resource, and being able to partner in that way, to connect in that way. And so, you know, that's what's going to keep us moving in the right direction of our goals, of redirecting us, is one little step at a time. So making one connection at a time. And I talked about this, where I was talking about the seeds. I think this was in my Empowerment Pack group when we were talking about the moon energy, the new moon in Aries, and when we talked about planting the seeds. And I had told you guys last week about this idea of, and I'm going to be honest, I have not planted my seeds yet. I said I was going to do it. I didn't do it. I told myself, okay, but it's a spring thing. I'm riding out the equinox energies, and I am going to do it, but I did not do it for the new moon, if I'm being honest. But I also was inspired actually by a conversation with Nicole about seeds that are airborne, seeds that you spread your seed, right? So this to me is like all these little spiritual breadcrumbs, all this little magic that we have, these skills, the ideas, the things, the conversations that we have to connect. And also, I mean, hello, all the collaborations that are going on in this group. I'm just repeatedly blown away. Deidre, I'm out of adjectives. I'm out of gifts. I don't even know what to say about the amazing things that you have been, and then all the showcases I saw this week. Amazing. Erin, Jen, all of it. It's just taking it to the next level over and over and over again. And that's all these connections, right? The seeds, it's about then mindfully saying each day, I'm going to spread a seed. I'm going to spread something out there in order to make these connections, to foster these relationships, okay? Brenda, absolutely, we will get your card. You got the grandkitties. Absolutely, we'll pull that for you, catch it on the replay. Awesome. I do too, Deidre. I love this community. I'm so grateful to be a part of it, and I love being able to just kind of observe all of this play out and be able to weave that magic of saying like, wow, let's stitch this all together and see that there's really something really amazing here as we move through all the dark stuff, right? It's a part of, we need that contrast in order for us to really see how amazing it really is. So now we move into card 4, next step. So we have, this is the world. Beautiful. Check this out. This is card 21 of the major arcana. It is the world. It's coming full circle. It's coming to fullness, wholeness, having moved through all of it, and metamorphosis, transformation. And look, we all are. Everybody is. All these butterflies are transforming. All of us. And we're all in different spots along that journey. Right? There's some that are way out there. There's some that are just like emerging from the cocoon. We're all in different stages. And of course, beyond that, we know that there's some that are just mush in the cocoon still in that stage, or maybe even the caterpillar. You know, all of the stages and things that bring us into wholeness is coming up here. Position 4 is the next step. So what should your short-term focus be? What is the next thing you should work on? Well, where am I? I am here. Where is that? Is it in a place of struggle? Is it in a place of challenge? Am I feeling a place of renewed motivation or creativity, right? And so there's this energy of being aware of where we are in the metamorphosis stage, in the stage of our transformation, and embracing wherever that is. You are here. And then figuring out from there what that stage enables us to do, right? Because if I don't have my wings yet, I'm not going to be able to just fly around, right? I'm still in a stage where maybe I'm crawling a little bit, and that's okay too. You feel like a Nemo butterfly with one short wing. You can fly in circles. I'm getting a total visual of that, Rob. I totally see that going on. So, you know, we're where we are. What's the next thing I should work on is really mastering where I am right now, because that's going to bring me to the table for the next step in the process. And also, I feel like allow yourself to be inspired by the butterflies that are in front of you, right? So what should I do right now? I'm observing other people in various stages, and I'm saying, well, we talked about this too, about the garden and being like, well, what's going on over there in that garden? Like, wow, that's really good over there. How'd they get all that? You know, or being in that stage of like comparisonitis, comparing myself to what's going on in that garden, or feeling like I don't have enough, or anything like that. We're flipping that to be in a perspective of saying, I embrace where I am, here I am, and in this big world, I see people in all different stages, and I am allowing myself to learn from each of them, right? So that I am inspired, I am empowered for my next step. So that's what I'm feeling there with this next step energy. And I mean, let's get another look, because that's a gorgeous, gorgeous card. Beautiful. So now we get into position 5, the obstacle. What lies in your way? What needs to be overcome? What challenges do you face on this journey? And it's the 10 of Pentacles. And as soon as I saw it, I thought about money. You know, the 10 of Pentacles, Pentacles is money. Pentacles is earth energy. It's material. It's, you know, having money, safety, security. And so that's a challenge, because as much as I just want to spread my wings and fly all day and, you know, just kind of go for a joyride, there's this whole thing about this car payment that we have now. There's this whole thing about, you know, making the donuts and making all the ends meet in order to support my journey. So I feel like, you know, it's really, the Pentacles here are speaking to that element of, we have a lot of hands. To me, it's reminding me, because this is a card that speaks to family, to generations, to legacy. We have people that depend on us. We have responsibilities and things that, you know, we all have different responsibilities and aspects. Yeah. So it's like, the idea is that all hands on deck here, to really recognize that it can be an obstacle, whether we like it or not, that the money, you know, having the means is a part of the way. And so I think there's an opportunity to shift our perspective about money. I'm speaking to myself too, like, not coming from a place of lack, or coming from a place that it has to be hard or it's a struggle, of course, is going to set the tone for how then I'm sending out that energy, versus knowing that the universe is going to provide, that there is enough, that, you know, having more of a positive mindset about it. And even if we try to do that as often as we can, or more often than not, of course, when your car breaks down and you're forced with an unexpected bill, I mean, it was like a lot of money for us to get those cars fixed and on the road, but we need them, you know, and we're not in a position right now to not have those chariots running. And then it's like, wow, okay, so you have to realign everything and back to the drawing board. And then that's kind of like a whole domino effect of the stuff that keeps us up at night, of the things that we're churning around in our brain. So it's all connected in knowing that can be an obstacle, and one that, you know, when we focus on here, the aspect of the light, the aspect of where to the next steps, here we have this opportunity to connect. And that's what I feel here. Like, here's a connection, and this is connection. You know, all hands on deck. Everyone's here, and there's an abundance, and there's people are providing and finding new ways in order to make those ends meet, but also to exceed and bring in all of the abundance that wants to come in. Because that's what the 10 of Pentacles really is all the things. It's all the wealth, all of the wealth of energy, of wealth and health. Perfect. Kelly, positive affirmation. I have abundant wealth and health always and in all ways. Even when physically it's showing up for me in the form of unexpected expenses, what have you, we have abundant wealth and health always and in all ways. I love that. Beautiful. So then finally, destination. Where is all of this leading? What will your destination look like? And we have the 6 of Cups. So we start and end with the Cups energy, flow of emotion. The 6 of Cups, of course, is a nostalgic card that definitely looks at, a lot of times, our childhood, at memories, at past connections. And so I think that that's kind of speaking to how the past is informing our present and helping to shape our future through the healing that's happening right now. So the stuff that's coming up, the stuff that's been churned up, the things, the unexpected detours, right? All of that might be bringing us back. Like, I'll just say for myself personally, One of the things that I'm really struggling with right now is as my kids are reaching the age that I was at a very difficult time in my life, and suddenly I see the roles reversed, and now I'm in the parent role of a angsty teen who's finding her way in the world and all the things. It's bringing me back, and I'm finding myself in that energy to a place where I kind of have to realign myself to kind of come here and be really present with that. But what a gift it is to me that she's ushering in the opportunity for that healing for me. Like, I know that that's like a deeper thing, but I'm saying that that's the way that the relationships, the connections, the people from the past, the things that come back up can actually be used for you as a gift, as the fuel to get yourself moving in a forward momentum, healed and whole. So moving through all of this is how I feel we get on track to move forward. Chastity, you end with a puppy. Yes, there is a puppy in the card. You see that in the top? That's adorable. Who's getting a puppy? It's not me. I already have one. Yes, we end with a puppy. We end swinging, and I love all the flowers, the memories, the mementos, all the things. I'm looking at you guys and your comments. Yeah. So bringing in that perspective that is rooted in another time, the nostalgia, the things that come back up. You love to swing. Beautiful. I love it. There's postcards here. So people are traveling, people are moving. You know, there's a lot of beautiful symbolism on this card that is where to next. And you know, that opens up to a whole nother layer of, as a collective, it's as if we're all on this big happy bus together. Right now I'm seeing like a Muppet movie when they're all on a bus together or something. I remember there's like something where they're all on a bus and we're all like animals going crazy and we're all doing our thing on the bus. And it's like collectively we're all getting there, but like, yeah, these chariots are like breaking down, like the wheels are off, you know, like, and there's all these things happening on the big stage, and then we're over here in our little gardens working through all of our stuff. And you know, it just feels like it all is kind of culminating that, like, as we focus on our vehicles, as we focus on our connections, as we focus on the vibration that we're holding, that is collectively rippling out to help get the collective bus back on track. So feeling all of that. Yep, pen pals. I had a pen pal. Who writes letters anymore? Anybody? Just all these nostalgic things. But how can we take the best of that and bring it forward with us, right? So I think we have a good number of personal card pulls with some specific questions. And sorry, Jen, that's a little more work for you to translate that. So we better jump into that and get it started. So if you would like a personal card pull and you didn't say so yet, please go ahead and say so. If you would like a specific question or focus, we can do that when we pull your card. So just mention that there and we'll get started. And like I said, I will put out a little something to feel into the week ahead energy too. Like, I know I want to know what our Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday cards are, right? Chastity, you have a friend that writes you a weekly letter? Oh, that's awesome. Like a letter, like writing with a stamp. That's amazing.